Murder. Over recent years, No Jumper has developed a reputation as a pipeline that takes figures from the gangbanging world of the LA streets to being entertainers, podcasters, and rappers. But unfortunately, as we see time and time again, not everybody makes it to the promised land of podcast glory. In fact, over the past few years, an unsettling number of hosts, affiliates, and regular faces connected to No Jumper have ended up tied to serious criminal cases. This has created endless rumors online, with people making ridiculous claims that real law enforcement, the FBI, the ATF, the CIA has been heavily monitoring or even are the ones operating the No Jumper podcast studio, with many people pushing the wild theory that the owner, Adam22, might be a full-blown federal agent. Anyway, there's no real evidence that ties No Jumper to the feds. That's just the reality of hosting and offering opportunities to so many figures that have got ties to the real-life streets and gangs. But unfortunately, the accusations that No Jumper is the feds is not going to be helped by the recent news that a fan-favorite host from this new generation of street figures on the mic, and Hefe, real name Maurice Shellman, was just taken into custody by LAPD's robbery homicide division on felony murder charges and initially set a hefty $1 million bail. Apparently that wasn't even enough. Records later showed that after a hearing, his bail could increase to over $2 million, which could potentially point to prosecutors having access to evidence that's particularly damaging for Hefe's case. But what's been happening in the courtroom is just one aspect of this case. But while the lawyers haven't really said much yet, the streets of LA have definitely. And despite many people throwing out false theories of exactly what had gone down in the murder that Ant was charged with, now that the dust has settled and the truth's coming out about the situation, we're seeing signs that there might be serious internal tensions within the A-Tray gangster Crips, the infamous LA gang that Ant Hefe has publicly claimed allegiance to. So after seeing the news of his arrest, we decided to dig a bit deeper and found out that there might be something much more going on here than just a typical murder investigation. Content warning. This video is about a sensitive topic. Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44. Involving loss of life. We've removed any graphic content to comply with YouTube's guideline. We aim to provide informative, factual journalism on a tragic event in the public interest that does not dismiss its seriousness. All clips are used under the doctrine of fair use for news reporting and analysis. Some points made in this video are opinions and theories. I am not responsible for third-party information. If you want to watch my videos uncut and extended, go to patreon.com/TrackWillRoss, where you can get those for just $2. Also, you can now watch my new drops on Spotify, so go search me there. Here's the video. If you're not tapped into LA street politics or the city's underground rap scene, there's a good chance you might not have heard about Hefe. But for those that are familiar with that world, he's someone that built a reputation on the streets long before most people knew his name in the podcast world. Born in May 1990, Ampefe, real name Maurice Shellman, grew up in LA's South Central, the area where gangs like the Crips and Bloods first laid their foundation. And much of Los Angeles gang culture still remains concentrated to this very day. Our early years were shaped by an out of control homicide rate in Los Angeles that was roughly 4 to 5 times higher than it is today. And it was this crazy and dangerous environment in LA that Amp grew up in. South Central was the epicenter for much of the violence going on in the city, but according to Amp himself, the obvious geography never did much to push him towards the streets with his own father, whose strict and aggressive parenting style apparently caused Amp to rebel and eventually join a gang out of resentment.
So what led me to the streets was my father. So I had both parents in my house. You know what I'm saying? I had my mother and my father. But my father, he got Texas roots. You know what I'm saying? He came down here to California like in the early 60s. You know, so he came down here to California, you feel me? So my father was like a real discipline. So like coming up, my father used to whoop I used to do that. Like with anything, like I could have belts, snitches, weight belt. Like, my father had a real like no tolerance, you feel me? He was real strict. So, I wasn't used to that. You feel me? I wasn't seeing the parents and the people who we had their fathers around, wasn't seeing their fathers acting like that. So like I started like feeling like that was abuse. So at that young age, I started formatting in my mind that, he don't like me or like he got something against me. So, with all of that, because I started to rebel against him and he rebelling against him led me to the streets.
The gang that Amp eventually joined was the infamous A-Tray Gangsta Crips, also known as A3GC, or these days often referred to as ETG, A-Tray Gangsters. Over the years, A-Tray has grown into one of the influential gangs of Los Angeles, with the territory that's also considered to be among the largest in the entire city. After joining the A-Tray Gangsta Crips, Amp would be a teenage terror in South Central, repeatedly having run-ins with the law and spending stretches inside juvenile hall.
Gosh, man. I did I did everything you can do out on the street. So it's just like, so in and out of jail, you know what I'm saying? I was going to school. Every time I got out of jail, I was in school. I was in and out of jail. So juvenile hall, I did every juvenile hall. And Las Rodrigo Juvenile Hall, Sylmore Juvenile Hall, Central Juvenile Hall. I did 4 camp programs. I was in Malibu. If you see the movie Gridiron Gang. I haven't with a rocket exhibit, so that's a camp out there in Malibu. That's a sports camp. I was in there. I was like, my whole time, like as an adolescent, was just, back and forth, saying, in and out of jail, and being made trade from gangbanging and stuff like that, catching cases, whether it be a gun case, a stolen car.
I was around 18 years old in 2008. He would end up jumping to the deep end of the streets, and he became part of a massive interstate drug trafficking operation with other members of the A-Tray Gangsta Crips. And these guys weren't just moving any drugs ahead of his time, he was supplying the kind of drugs that today's rappers would probably spend their whole advances trying to get their hands on, because they were moving oxys, the real oxycontin pills, not the fed-press counterfeit pills that are flooding the streets of LA today. So this crack team of trade traffickers would move these pills from LA to Spokane, in Washington, nearly 20-hour drive north. But unfortunately, this highly profitable pill smuggling operation would eventually come to an end in 2013 when they got busted by the feds. By the time authorities were done rounding everyone up, the case had ballooned into something so massive it reportedly overwhelmed the court system itself. Actually, the whole case grew to include a staggering 62 defendants. One of them was then 22-year-old MFA named Larry Shellman, although interestingly, the court documents were real name in that case as Keon Gray, rather than Keon Gray, which it is in his most recent arrest record. But anyway, this was him. He was charged with exploring issues of indictment, which prosecuted the A-Tray members for trafficking and distributing these oxycontin pills. In December of 2014, Howard ultimately accepted plea deals from prosecutors pleading guilty to count 2 in exchange for the remaining counts being dropped. But this lead him to receive a crushing 120 months with 10 years sentence in federal penitentiary. Clearly, finding serious charges and doing serious time with many to do for MFA. And he would sit down and take that all with dignity, eventually towards the end of his sentence in November of 2021, and he'd be moved away from the prison to a halfway house in Los Angeles, where he would end up leaving the city without insurance, removing his ankle monitor and going underground. He spent several months on the lam before finally being captured in Nevada in May 2022. But despite this rather wild move, the charge of escape from federal custody was eventually dropped by the prosecution. Later, Howard explained why he took off during an Oprah interview, saying that the staff at the halfway house were trying to do him dirty, and that he was supposed to be free.
But we like people bring on the schools, I've been there with Julie, this year, watch them diamonds, they looking like fast. So I started getting into it with them. So from there, they let me go home. I go home. So I was going to do a drug test. So like 30 days before I got off the ankle monitor, they do some weird. Become a podcast with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready to record, just get ready to capture high quality audio and video all from the country you love. Anywhere, even the most important. It's weird. I go in the piss on a Tuesday and go back and piss on Thursday. So they try to tell me my Tuesday piss was good and my Thursday piss was dirty. So I'm like, that's false. I'm not gonna have to piss again. Like 30 days, I'll just wow, I can get to smoking. I want to smoke. Like I ain't been smoking nothing. I don't think since we the piss Thursday clean. You need to come here Tuesday to piss dirty. So I'm going back and forth with them. They wasn't trying to hear it, so they told me that they was recommended me back to testing. I said that's out. Snatched the ankle monitor off right there. Yeah. Walked around the program, went on the run for like 6 months. They called me in Vegas. I come back from Vegas gambling. So hit Vegas for like 20 bands. Come back and get caught on the freeway traffic stop.
After finally regaining his freedom, Ant would slowly begin building and making himself online in 2023, releasing not only rap music videos, but also commentary content centered around game culture and LA street politics.
I these messages, bro. I don't organize the line, man. You talking about y'all game bangers and stuff. You put that clip on, you look like you feel me, talk like you feel me, you got your background. But what about the other bro? If there ain't no picking and choosing, if you don't got it, you're gonna be out here about this, bro.
In 2024, York finally lost and confronted with the reputation he'd already built himself in the streets of LA, and would start attracting some real attention, making music together with popular LA rappers like Big Sad and landing appearances on live performance channels, even getting major platforms like the Street TV YouTube channel, where he was interviewed by Munchie B, who would later become one of Ant's co-hosts with No Jumper. And speaking of No Jumper, the following year in 2025, that's when Ant would finally received his big break in podcasting. After doing an interview with Adam 22 in May of that year, Ant became regular on the channel, even getting a permanent position on the No Jumper show.
And for the people at home, if you're not familiar with NFA, he has a dope YouTube channel that everybody should go subscribe to. He also raps, drops music left and right. And we just did our first interview, which I think the first clip of it came out today. Or you can go to the members only section. $5 a month, you want the whole thing right now. So after we did that interview, I was like, you know what? These guys are obvious choice. We got to get them on here and see what the vibe is like because that interview was real fun.
Yeah, real good conversation. Definitely good vibe.
Eventually, he would become some of our fan favorite, with viewers affectionately dubbing him the Alter Ego after he accidentally mispronounced the term alter ego during one of his live streams.
I might come up in that thing to white people. It is what it is. If I don't practice no proper etiquette. I'm not reading no textbooks. When I get on camera, I don't have an alter ego. I don't have an alter ego. I can do on camera and then get off camera and be somebody else.
Ant's wholesome mispronunciations lead to several legendary catchphrases over the last couple of years. While he was making moves in the podcasting game, he also kept on releasing music, and steadily growing the catalogue of videos on his YouTube channel where he continued speaking on LA street politics, although now from a far more mainstream and grown-up perspective, as well as have more ongoing drama news within the rap industry. He was very quickly due to his popularity and his fan base, and at the time of his arrest, he surpassed over 50,000 subscribers. Coming into 2026, the tragic incident will take place and might just destroy everything that Hefe was able to build after he got out of prison the last time. On May 18th, 2026, Ant Hefe would allegedly post a video to social media in which he spoke about having an extremely bad day. The reason behind that video is still being unclear at this point. But after what happened next, that video would suddenly become the subject of countless theories and speculation online.
Just the good old deal with the good old people, man. Today was not a good day, bro. Today was one of those bad days, man. The devil was working hard, man. He was at work, man. He was this close, man. He was this close. This close to cashing in on wishful thinking. So right now, right, I'm in a phase where I'm trying to regroup, you know what I'm saying? And make things straight, man. And just, create the space to be calm and copacetic, you know what I'm saying, through the storm, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully y'all had a good day up out there though, man. It's Monday, man, you know what I'm saying? Anybody got bad like mine, we gonna make it through, Sam. You know what I'm saying? Long as you make it through to the next day, man, we gotta. You know what I'm saying? We got another chance, man, to recharge, man, to regroup, man. Salute. Stay strong.
Because the very next day, on the 19th of May, Hank will be arrested by the LAPD on felony murder charges, together with another alleged HRA gangster crip member, John Gray, reportedly known in the streets as North Face. That same day, the No Jumper Show was scheduled to air with Hank as one of the co-hosts, sparking speculation amongst the panel after he finally didn't show up and went completely radio silent.
Guys, please just see up in there real quick. It's okay. What's up with
I guess Ant's not picking up his phone. People have been trying to contact him. He's not picking up his phone right now. It is almost 2 hours into the podcast. And in addition to that, he was supposed to be here an hour before the podcast. So I would bet money that he got arrested or something. Because
I don't want that.
I don't want to wish it on him. I just like him being 3 hours late, phone off, not responding to anybody.
I don't know about arrested, but it's definitely. That's why I'm saying I don't want to speak.
Yeah.
But that's something like Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, it could have been a family emergency. You know, when his kids got sick, he could have been in the hospital or something like that.
If you call his phone and you got a voicemail, it's all back. Wait, lost his phone.
Or maybe somewhere with no service, you know. That's the I don't know.
But it's not like him. Even if he wasn't going to come, you would say something. I mean, he has to come in his heart up. He would only have texted by now. You all getting related. He's very professional, bro. Like, you need to know his brothers too. So, yeah, hopefully he's really, trust him and you love that.
Because this will already start some theories online. The following day, the internet would go wild when Interest was published by the LAPD on their database. It started an online frenzy with TMZ simply breaking the news. This will be followed by all hip-hop and entertainment media reporting on the latest arrest with No Jumper posts. But almost as quickly as the arrest broke, a rumor mill began forming online over exactly which murder and Hefe had allegedly been charged with. One of the first people to push a theory that would go quickly viral was the YouTuber Freddie Nash, who dropped a video on May the 20th where he played a questionable clip of Ant accidentally admitting to the shooting.
I don't know who this person is. But our topic is pertaining to the shooting I did the other.
Let's use Airtable to create a store app to manage physical product development using the data and traffic stats index and look like this. We're developing prototypes for our next line of footwear, and our manufacturers just sent back hundreds of these documents with key specs and cost line for each product. That's on our expert AI app builder to build us an app to act as our first trigger for this product development process. Omni knows what use case, industry, and business need. So it's not just producing something from there, it's producing exactly what I want. Omni knows what tables and interfaces I'll need to manage the work and then watch them generate right in front of me. And because it's all in Airtable, I can refine the entire app visually from point to point, no coding skill. And second, Omni has created a fully functional app to act as our source of truth for products, specs, and materials. When I drop in my documents, I'll see that Omni has deployed document analysis users to pull out key facts from each document, which perform analysis on the materials at the line item level. Watch my agents get to work with pulling out every data point straight from those PDFs into data sets. No more tedious error-prone data entry. Agents always set those input, so that's what they're working on, confidence and output. Here, my agents have gathered context from the red and our internal data to determine that our manufacturer may be overcharging us. Okay, now it's really good. We'll ask Omni to build a 3D viewer so we can visualize where exactly each material is being used and collaborate with designers and any changes needed. Omni has put this in our step and gets to work on interface from the exact purpose. In seconds, Omni spins up the display interface to display the three files of uploaded along with the relevant cost data. So our team and I can inspect every material and our margin and iterate on our product. That's what you can do with Omni and field agents in Airtable.
What do you think? So I'm using only your voice. Let's start with the drums. Hit drums, a little bit of cover. Yeah. This is good. Okay, perfect. I feel like this song needs a really good. Changing it to guitar. I'm gonna type in guitar. Okay, I like this beat. Alright, now we're adding some bass. Okay, let's click on bass. I'm gonna just click up. Yes, I like this. Okay, good. Alright, and let me stand the chorus. Pulsing ambient synth. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna copy this into the main track. Let's have a I'm going to click on percussion, and here I'm just typing in shaker and clicking cover. Now let's put it all together, and I'm gonna sing. Absolutely unexpected. Maybe that's the best part. Yeah, I know we connected. Not just music, but on your heart. I know it's gonna try to clever. Let's handle the paperwork. I know I deserve a good guy. Maybe you will be the first. And I know you will go from our past mistakes. Cause now you're the best man for your living sake. You're making me stop. All of it is crazy.
But he also brings up a rumor that he apparently comes across online, claiming that Anne Hefe might have been involved in the murder of Baby Yui, well-known Jabari Henley, the son of the infamous Big U, the alleged leader of the Roll 60 Crips, who himself had been indicted in 2025 on federal RICO and murder charges. His son Yui was killed months after his arrest on Halloween of 2025.
But I just got some breaking news, bruh. They said that allegedly, supposedly, and Hefe is the one who killed the U son, Baby U.
69th and 69th and 77th 77th division.
There have been 50 bloggers that have covered this situation. This is the hottest thing on social media. Every day it's a new element, a new something that happened. Oh, it's gonna be a gang war. Oh, they probably did it. Oh, this will happen. So it's just like that's a neutral spot. All type of people, everybody hang out. Boy, if this is true, if he's the one who did that, who put that on, it's gonna be a. I mean, some of y'all.
This theory was discussed by the West Black 100 in his podcast show. From the very beginning, there seemed to be very little actual evidence supporting this theory, beyond the fact that the Rolling 60s and Craig Gangster Crips are meant to have a long-running and extremely deadly rivalry. And this rumor was practically immediately replaced by another rumor claiming that Ant had instead been involved in the murder of an alleged Five Juice Radio Bishop Club member known as Lil Bandit, real name Deshaun Coleman, who was killed after an argument with a gunshot at a taco stand with the corner of Slauson and Holmes in the early morning hours of May 17, 2026.
The LAPD says there was an argument just before the gunfire. It all unfolded just steps away from a busy taco stand.
Calamudo 52 spoke with the brother of the man who was killed. I also spoke with one man who was working at the taco stand last night. He told me he heard about 7 to 8 gunshots.
We don't know nothing. All we know, we need justice. He was a good person, and a loving person. He took care of everybody. We hear some people getting back work, and start fighting.
Did you hear the gunshots?
Yeah, I hear the gunshots. I hear like 7 gunshots.
This rumor would similarly take off on Reddit before being spread by numerous popular YouTubers, with one of the most detailed narratives coming from the former No Jumper host, Poetic Flacco.
So Young and Hefe is at the taco stand, minding his business, trying to get some tacos, trying to eat. A Pablo blood pull up. I think what like either Cabos for like 5 or 5 who knows, right? But the Pablo blood pull up. Instantly, an altercation breaks out. He starts to bang on Young and Hefe. Where you from, boy? And Hefe, I'm from X-Ray Games for Crib.
I built the Wix website overnight as to help launch my career on this chart. There's Udemy and everything. And being there firsthand is, of course, the best way to experience it. As a repertoire illustrator, my art unfolds in it. So my website needs to showcase a lot of energy. I draw fast. I say,
Go Daddy, Daddy is the man. Go Daddy, go Daddy, that's the man.
Oh! Phew. That should have been the end of it. Now, Young and Hefe did something that I think we should all do. Young and Hefe walks away. He gets back into his car. Now, when Young and Hefe gets back into his car, the Pablo Blood follows Young and Hefe to his car. Now, I guess when Young and Hefe is going back to his car, the Pablo Blood probably feels like he got the best of the situation. And he wanted to get the best of both. So he follows Young and Hefe to the car. When I walk back to my car, I'm in my car, I'm trying to leave, you right here. I'm like, I don't know what you reaching for, you yelling aggressively. And Young and Hefe just had enough, man. Just had enough. Pulled out the pistol, shot him about 7 or 8 times. Bro got hit, bro died. And now we're here. Allegedly, because he's still fighting the case. He's completely innocent. This could have all been a misunderstanding. So allegedly, people, allegedly.
Now, it's not clear at this point where Flacco got his information. That entire story would end up being a pure fabrication. And we're ready to think today there would be a completely new rumor that had nothing to do with the taco stand incident. There's No Jump host Remo uploaded a video on Instagram. He claimed he had spoken to allegedly revealed the real reason behind the arrest, and alleged DP gone wrong. The DP was called for disciplinary action on the discipline. This is essentially a violent beatdown carried out against a member of your own gang for breaking the rules. According to the rumor, this DP had taken place months earlier and unfortunately gotten out of control and ultimately ended with the victim losing his life.
Just an update on the Hefe situation. I know a lot of rumors in that everyone's trying to say that Young Hefe was actually involved with the shooting at a taco stand. I'm not sure about that. From what I'm hearing that Young Hefe was actually arrested for a situation that stemming from like a few months back. I'm hearing it was like a DP gone wrong where I don't know, maybe somebody who is quick got DP, but in the midst of the dude getting DP, someone actually passed away during the DP, and that is actually what NFA supposedly, allegedly is arrested for. I'm hearing that is not for the shooting. Some people been on record saying that he shot a guy a few times, hit the taco stand, and led into some blood incident. I'm hearing that those are two different and separate incidents from what I'm hearing in my sources. But free on that, NFA. Shout out to everybody involved, the condolences to everybody. But yeah, I don't think NFA was actually involved with that shooting that everyone's trying to say with the blood guy from BB or wherever. But it was actually from a situation that stemmed from a few months back. And I think if you can read, if you see the video, you can see NFA kind of going through it where you can say he had a hard day. So I think NFA kind of knew the feds, or not the feds, but the police was actually on him. He kind of knew about the situation in advance. But free NFA, man, for real, man.
Flacco would also correct his earlier claims, uploading a new video
That shit be
discussing
looking
the
so real, nigga. Eyes get
security
much
of
away.
the taco stand shooting that had been the scene of the previous rumor. The footage did appear to show the incident in question taking place, although Hefe himself appeared to be in the video. However, Flacco would still suggest that one of the cars parked outside the taco stand might have belonged to him, and that it's possible that he might be present during that murder.
The question of the day is, did NFA commit this murder? Well, to answer that question, let's take a look at the footage of the murder. This car right here may not have been one of the vehicles that NFA used to drive to No Jumper. This right here is the gentleman that was shot and killed. This guy right here is about to get punched. Now, when he gets punched, the person who was killed, they all begin to move forward. Now, when they begin to move forward, somebody comes from around the car and started shooting. Hits him, he falls and dies. Then they chase somebody around this vehicle, but they couldn't shoot them, and the person goes away.
But the real exclusive once again comes from TMZ, who would post that same day the victim, Carl Welch, also reported that he died in a parking lot from Blackpool's trauma after the alleged date of murder was the 31st of January 2026. These pieces of information support the claims of the DP gone wrong, a parking lot where the body was found as a result of Blackpool's trauma. But now the alleged real incident was out in the open, online detectives immediately went to work. And it didn't take long before Reddit and other social media sites were flooded with photos of the victim, whose real name was Carl Terrell Welch. In the streets of LA, he was apparently known as the lowdown and alleged member of the H-Trade Gas and Crips. This information seemingly confirmed that Antifa was indeed accused of being present during the fatal beating of a member of his own gang. Soon, the video.
Whoa. Listen, I just put the button again and goes pretty cool. Guys, we just built it up. Impossible. And now.
You're obviously her dog.
Ever wondered if your match is underperforming? If you have spare 4 minutes, check it with Clean Mind. It gives you a full health report and some curious little details about your system. Create a free Clean Mind app and find out what's actually going on inside. 7 days free. Some circulating on social media that was claimed to show a bystander recorded the alleged beatdown, low-quality footage capturing a group of individuals seemingly punching and kicking someone lying on the ground. However, the location in the video didn't seem to match the parking lot location where the body was allegedly found. The location of the murder was just released in police paperwork that broke down the whole series of events that happened. The paperwork would break down the alleged DP got wrong that led to the murder exactly as it happened, stating on January the 31st, 2026, at approximately 10:25 p.m., LAPD patrol officers responded to reports of an assault in progress at 6916 Southwestern Avenue, and the LAPD would arrive with the LA Fire Department, finding the victim dead in the parking lot with trauma to his face, abrasions, as well as swelling near his eyes. Detectives marked 6 pieces of evidence in the crime scene, which were 5 pieces of broken jewelry and 1 set of veneers. The victim was found laying in the parking lot shirtless with serious facial traumas close to his own vehicle, a black 2006 Cadillac Escalade. The victim was identified at the scene as Carl Welch, and his cell phone and ID were recovered from the scene by the coroner, who also noted H-Trade gang tattoos on the victim's body. The victim's girlfriend would appear at the scene distraught, allegedly under the influence of drugs or alcohol, explaining that the victim was assaulted by their own gang. Detectives would go on to recover surveillance video from the crime scene, which captured the victim arriving at the parking lot around 6:20 p.m. The first suspect arrives at around 7 p.m., followed by more suspects who arrive and congregate with the victim for about 10 minutes until the assault occurred at approximately 9:45 p.m. It appeared the victim did know his killers, and surveillance video then captured the victim being assaulted by multiple suspects who he'd been speaking to in the parking lot. And at one point, one suspect kicks the victim continually near bodies on the ground. Video surveillance would also capture the suspects opening and searching the victim's vehicle while he lay unconscious and removing the victim's property from his car. All suspects were then flee in multiple vehicles, leaving the victim to be discovered deceased by the fire department at 10:34 p.m. The victim's wife would explain to detectives that the victim worked at a cannabis shop and that he would hold onto rent money in a bag inside his vehicle. Detectives would confirm 2 suspects from the surveillance video, one being Johnny Gray, aka Northface, as well as identifying his 2007 Lexus that was registered to him that he drove to and from the scene. Cell phone records would indicate that he had actually fled LA to Las Vegas the day after the homicide, using using his own car to do so. Detectives would also Maurice Shellman, aka an FA, was arriving to the scene in a white Range Rover, and according to detectives, the footage appeared to show Ant appearing to intervene in an argument between an unidentified suspect and the victim before the fight, and would then be captured, striking the victim with his hand while the victim was laying on the ground, and would then return to his vehicle.
that motherfucker be out of control. Now, I'll put this on back. This ought to be out of control. I swear to God. That bitch be working hard as a bitch. I don't even know why I got this shit. I thought this shit was better. I need to see how you get rid of some of this shit. We got plain. Fuck it. God, I forgot how to do this shit. Galaxy 730. Selection. And for 26 vehicles, and for the 3 I got some cars I ain't even fuck with it. I think it's my car. Nah, it ain't mine. Nah, I ain't even fuck with it. It's a two-door alley. Okay, yeah. I'm hunting for that bitch. I gotta have some water. I already got that no ass crew. Yeah. I don't even know what the fuck that is. tell that too. No bill. Yeah, shit. Pitch, boy. That bitch so going right there, boy. You got hundreds. And look, food. Mm. Missing like 9 miles. I know it's coming. Well, they put my gifts all the way over there. They some bitches. I don't like this house. I don't know what that beeping means. Ah, the loud after me or something?